Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're from. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome. Come on in. Uh, Once again, very relaxed Sunday live stream. Just let me know if you can hear me and see the screen. It's still new at this, so I don't want to be starting a two-hour stream and end up not saying anything that you can hear. So yeah, thank you. Thanks for the confirmation. We'll start in another couple of minutes. Just for your reference, what's going on today, today's agenda. And let me know if you're tuning in from Australia. The group of people, Australia, New Zealand, some parts of Asia, you're always at the short end of the time zone when I stream. So I thank you if you're tuning in from that part of the world. So just let me know if you're tuning in. Extra shout out to you. And, well, if you want to take revenge, please duly know that you have taken your revenge when I'm watching the Australian Open this couple of weeks. So yeah, there you have it. Yep, that's right. You have got your revenge on me when I live stream at a time that's not too good for you. So anyway, thank you for tuning in. We'll start in another couple of minutes at 12 noon exactly. We will start with a lifers meeting for maybe 20 minutes. You're open and welcome to spectate. If you're not a lifetime member, you're still part of the community. You're a very important part of who we are, what we're doing. So please, you're welcome to spectate. We're happy that you're here to also to be part of the meeting. And after which we will resume our usual Sunday live stream with some preparation for the week, some training with the charts, some Q&A obviously, and story time if we have time. Don't worry if you're missing out on this live stream. It will be available for viewing on demand anytime you want. It's the same link. So thank you for tuning in again. It's 12 noon here. I mean, it's 12 noon as we said on Eastern time. So let's start now. For lifers, please check out this particular tab here, this channel, right, for any talking points, any chat discussions, Q&A. It's quite important. Yeah, I cannot answer everything, but I will. The good thing about having all these recorded is that I will eventually answer them when I find the right time to do so. For example, if there are some technical questions I may need another session to cover, I will duly note that and answer them in another session. So please, lifers, you can do that now as we start our meeting. So let's start our meeting proper for lifetime members. Quite straightforward. I just want to do some simple housekeeping, keep you updated on the progress on what's going on. But at the meantime, just drop in some questions if you have them here. Right, and let's get it going. Now, the first thing I want to address is the members who still uh, have not received my email from the SDT LTM. If you see this keywords, you will know who you are. I'm talking to you. Now, there are still some technical difficulties that I'm facing. Now, I want you to be assured that I'm doing everything I can to induct you into the lifetime membership. Now, the easiest route is obviously via the conventional ways of going through the proper payments, but I know that some of you cannot afford that at this point in time. But yet I want you to be part of the program. So I turned to sponsors, which isn't that... Well, I met with some difficulties regarding the sponsorship because there are some accountability issues. Let me give you some examples. So what happened was that there are some sponsors who have some certain expectations. So they want to... there are many different sorts of expectations, but the biggest one is that they want to be personally involved in their sponsors' progress to the point of wanting direct contact, which I felt may be a little bit hard to manage, because I don't want the case whereby I create a trust system and people start exploiting that system without my knowledge, because it will be out of my domain. I will not be kept informed of everything that happens because of that. So I'm creating a trust between a sponsor and someone who's going to be sponsored, and I'm not able to protect that trust and that relationship because there are expectations like that. So I decided to cut it off slightly. So I'm working on that. So that's one thing, and I created an installment system. Some of you recently also came across that installment thing. So I just want you to be assured that as long as you received this email from me, you're fine. I'm trying my best to get you in. My only problem is I cannot find the proper platform to induct you in from, because we are not doing customized software. We're using ready-made solutions, in this case Patreon, WAP, or even Discord. So I don't have a clear way of getting it done. Not yet. But what I need you to know is that everything is in the record. So everything is accounted for. It's as simple as developing an automated script, and it will be done. So as simple as that sounds, I want to cover my bases and make sure that the entire process from stage one to the end, that there are no problems. Because, for example, the sponsorship, I obviously didn't think too deeply about the accountability issues because, unbeknownst to me, there are many scammers within our midst. And so the scammers are willing to pay to enter Discord and start working their way within the members, and I'm sure some of you have already experienced that. So there is danger that I have to be more alert to, and I felt that I wasn't truly creating enough guardrails to enable that. So I just want to apologize if you have already received an email with this. Now, if you know what this what this means, right? You're in the program. Okay, it's as simple as that. If this 6 letters make some sense to you, if you have previously received something like that and you have replied to me, now you are already in the system. So don't worry about that. Nothing to panic about, right? If you're not, you don't know what this is, doesn't matter to you, because there are new ways to get inducted into the lifetime program. It's never too late. It just will get more expensive. And that's one way of restricting growth. And that's my way of also adding value to people who have, obviously acted first. So this is all about creating value, isn't it? Our lives too, it's about creating value. The time that we put into things, it's about creating value. Okay, so that's my first assurance to you. I will figure this out, but at the meantime, you will be invited to the Lifers meetings. You will be invited to the courses and everything that's opened up for lifetime members. At the meantime, before I work out the officiating, So thank you for your patience regarding that. All right. I obviously have many things I have to worry about and get done. So scammers is obviously also one of the issues that I cannot control. This is a Discord level issue. That if the people developing Discord cannot work on that, I don't know how I can, because they start to impersonate me to the T. And this is why I have to remind you to obviously develop that sort of discernment. Okay. Now, I don't want to spend too much time on the Lifers meeting, so maybe another 10 to 15 minutes. I just want to remind you of your objective as a lifetime member. Now, once you're a lifetime member, I will list them out. I've listed them out prior to somewhere in the chat. I'll write that out, right? There are certain benefits that you have, but most importantly, I want to hold you to a higher standard, the same way that you have dedicated to be a lifetime member. It demands something from you as well, right? So I will hold you to a higher standard because I truly want you to prosper. There are big projects ahead, and you have to get your life in order for you to be a meaningful part of the big projects that we have ahead. Now, you understand that, right? Because if you are not of a good enough standard, these projects will not be able to impact you, or the other way around. You are not able to impact these projects in the way that you would like. So I will hold you to a higher standards, and I will be pruning lifetime members even if it requires me to. And that should put you on edge. And that sort of high standard that I demand is especially and including trading or investing, of growing your wealth. I truly want you to prosper and succeed, and well, more than just financially. Your financial success must be a byproduct of your general success in your life, spirituality, your mentality, or even your physical health if you can help it. It's mandated for you. I demand your success. And that's why you're joined in the first place, isn't it? This isn't some country club membership or some senior citizens retreat. Now, you've made a commitment, even a financial one, in order to commit to a successful future, a prosperous future. And I'm honored to be part of that. And I think my job is to whip you into shape, And that's why we're doing everything we're doing here. There's a proper system. I'm almost seeing you every single day, right? So, hey, you've got to buck up, some of you. And I will too. I will whip you into shape, and I will be telling you, well, tomorrow is the start of our course. It starts tomorrow. I'm whipping you into shape tomorrow. All right, so it's time to get yourself in the higher standard, especially if you're a lifetime member. The easiest part is, as I said, the easiest part of everything in life is giving money. That's the easiest thing. It's like going to a restaurant and having a meal. The easiest thing, I tell you, is actually paying for the meal. That's the easiest part. Everything else is difficult, Preparing for the food, sourcing for the food, thinking of the menu, serving the food, cleaning the equipment, managing the restaurant. You realize that, right? As a consumer, right, the easiest thing is actually paying for the meal. And it's the same thing for everything in life. The easiest part, and sometimes we think that's the end, Sometimes we think, just because I paid some money, my job's done, or that I have already attained my goals. It's the same problem if you're signing up for a gym membership, isn't it? Some of you paid for a gym membership and you think you've already achieved your goal. Yeah, mentally you've already checked the box and you don't put in extra effort. That's not... once you get past that, you realize... Once your perspective is beyond just money, just the financials, and you realize, hey, giving money is actually the easiest part of everything in life, you will prosper. Because money is no longer an object for you. You put in the work, and money becomes a byproduct. That's the difference that you will have in sort of commitment in your life. So yes, I'm going to whip you into shape. So no more fooling around, please. Yeah, I will remind you of your duties as a lifetime member, your benefits as well. Some of the big projects that we have. So you have to keep focused. So the next time you're going to make a reckless trade, for example, know that the money can be used for something better because we have bigger projects upcoming. Don't forget the shareholding. Don't forget the merchandise. Don't forget the affiliate programs, the trading automation, or even introducing you to longer term investments to accumulate your wealth. I will cover that tomorrow in the course. I will show you a roadmap, what we're trying to achieve, and you're part of this project now. You're part of the family now. You're part of this group now. We have somewhere to go together. You cannot be reckless anymore. Because when I demand that excellence from you, you have to deliver. And it's not something you can just build overnight. Because when it's demanded from you, you'll be caught with your pants down when you're not ready. Something that you have to be constantly and diligently preparing for. So that's what I demand from you. If you're a lifetime member, or even if you're a member, a community member, as long as you are here, you're listening this from me, I demand that from you because you're part of my family now. I always tell you, I spend so much time with you, more than my family, man. Well, my time that I'm awake, of course. So anyway, first project. Now let's get excited, yeah. So I want to share this with you. Right, this is, obviously, as I was discussing with you, the funded trading platform that I've been working on. So I'm still going through some regulatory approvals, but yes, already a working prototype. It's just not connected to the Life Exchange yet, but I will show you it's actually working. So we don't have live access just yet. Still waiting for some approvals. I am still thinking through some policies, tweaking some small processes and workflows before I properly launch it in beta. So the dashboard, quite simple, right? Certain evaluation and competition platforms right here. So you can just take a quick look. If I want to trade, right, there is a certain evaluation that I have to take. So I'm basically trading a valuation account. The market's not live now, but I can buy and sell. Obviously, I'm working on offering different instruments, whether futures or options. I want to go to options, but let me tell you, options trading it's not easy to create a platform on, because it's very difficult to find a particular broker for that. But I already have inroads for that. Now, eventually, this will link up with the journaling program. So it's also part of what I want to do to, in a way, concentrate all your journals and all your trades in one place, so it's easy for me to review. It's easy for you to review. It's easy for peers, each other to review with one another. Right, so everything will be in one place. Certain evaluations, right? Yeah. You can see if you're familiar with funded trading platforms. This will not be unfamiliar to you, right? So quite straightforward, and obviously joining competitions, right? So you have to pass your evaluations before you can join proper competitions with monetary rewards. So there will be monetary rewards, right? So I think one big problem of what the current funded trading platforms, what they're doing is, in my opinion, I don't think they're running a very sustainable model. They're making money through fees and not through good trading. They are not so educational, because the rules that they are applying for you to pass your evaluation is meant for them to make as much profits as possible. And that's because fundamentally they're doing something wrong. Fundamentally they're doing something because everything is simulated. Now, when everything is simulated, you can have 100% of the people winning and no one has to lose. So they have to pay out all the 100% of the people who wins. So they have to create rules for people to lose. And you notice that it's no longer zero sum. And so they are not making money unless they can attract more people to pay fees. That's a broken system, in my opinion. Firstly, it's not educational. You're not properly teaching people how to trade. You're just teaching people how to game the system. And secondly, in the broader definition, it's as good as a Ponzi scheme, isn't it? They're trying to get people to pay more fees to pay the people who have made it. And so you see people in a way they have delayed payments, because they don't have enough money to go around. So they have to run promotions, and you see all sorts of shenanigans. Well, for us, if you're discerning enough, you will know that this is what they're doing, and you will still game the system, and you will still make money from them, because that's what we're trying to do, some of us who learn the skill here. And you're running funded platforms, and you're doing that. But otherwise, what we're doing here, we have a very clear purpose, right? I want to be teaching, making sure you improve trading with what we're doing here. And as a partner, I want you to be I want you to own part of this shares here. So I will be opening up only for lifetime members, that you will be part of this project if we grow it up. And obviously, I'm looking for an exit in future. I don't know how to get there. I spoke to my friends from the past, who's in private equity, is guiding me, giving me some suggestions on how we can package this properly. So this is why I need you to prosper, right? Because when we start the Series A, when we start the Series B, you need to be involved, right? And I will only open this up for lifetime members. So know that you are now part of a bigger project. Okay, stop being reckless with your money. Stop gambling, right? People who gamble have no better place to put their money. That's why they try to gamble. They buy a piece of a future, of a hope that they imagine, right? But if you have a proper roadmap to your success, you will be very careful with your resources because you know exactly how to get there and where you're going. So that's what we want to do. All right. Now, well, more updates regarding this. I have a couple of meetings this week, not with the developer only, but with the regulatory boards. So I need to talk to them, understand the legal implications and what licenses do I need to get this up and running. So I will most likely launch a beta for us internally to usage, because as I mentioned, this is also a journaling software. So yes, big things happening, yes, in 2026, and you're part of it. I want you to stay focused. You got to know, you truly got to know where you're headed to, so you don't be reckless and you can properly learn. All right, so the course starts tomorrow, right? And I will introduce this. Well, I don't have a timeline. I want to introduce this as soon as tomorrow if I could. But I do have some limitations in terms of a couple of things right now. Firstly is I'm looking for ways to get options trading up. So now it's mostly futures trading and CFDs. And also, secondly, I need to get through some regulatory bodies, right? So I need to get that done. I foresee this can be done quite quickly. Maybe by end of the month. I will give you an update every week. Yeah, that's the point of having meetings like that, to update you along the way. Right, so big things coming up. Please stay focused, yes? More updates for the lifers in due time. I want to move on now, but just let me quickly browse through the Q&A. And once again, I apologize if I cannot answer them immediately, but that's the point of having it tabbed. Everything is documented. I will find a time to answer them again. Yeah, so let me just take a quick look. So technical questions. Yeah, so I will address all these in due time. All right. Like if I'm reading everything, if I skip it, doesn't mean I'm ignoring you. Please, don't see it that way. Yeah. Technical questions tomorrow, no problem. Right. I will obviously, the course will address all these, or even the trading videos. Right. So I will address this tomorrow too, but I want to talk a little bit about this. So your training, your course videos are, well, you can treat them like theory lectures. Yeah. They are not bound by everyday's live trading actions. But your training videos, they are what's happening live every day. So they have to come together, right? So the course is a theory lecture, but I want to tie in together with your training videos, which is the practical, your practicums, right? So when they come together hand in hand, you have something very comprehensive. So you notice that the course, anyone can do a course, right? Anyone on the internet can do a course. They just have to, well, some of them are very unscrupulous. So what they do is they either copy someone else's course or put them through ChatGPT to redo it, get a ghostwriter, whatever it is. And they're just selling you a dream that's totally irrelevant and you cannot apply it. But for us, it's different, right? Because for the course, whatever I'm going to teach you, I will apply it every single day in the analysis, in the Discord, together with the training videos. So it makes sense every single day for you. And I think that's the surest way for you to know that this course is not just something that can be just packaged and redistributed without meaning, right? Because it's going to be done on a daily basis. I have to, well, in a way, perform every day with the live analysis to show you. That's what I've been doing for the past 4 years anyway. I treat every day like a performance, right? I have to perform for you to show you. That's what my flying instructor does, you know. Every time I'm with him, he would have to perform for me to remind me, you know, that he's better than me. So I trust him. I trust him to fly me in a little capsule in the middle of 20,000 feet. You understand the logic behind that. So if you understand what I'm talking about, then you know, yes, that's what I'm doing every single day. In a way, I'm performing for you, so you can trust and know that this is not fly by night, and this is done with skill that you can see with your own eyes. That's why I'm always telling you that it's very important for you to do that. Yeah. Okay. The general live stream, it's not unlocked yet. I will unlock it now. Okay, please go on. But this is just for the lifetime members for now. Right. Okay. Now let me just track back here. I will end the live first meeting in 5 minutes. Then we'll go on to part 2. Yeah. So understand the difference between the secret training videos and the courses. Yeah, some of them are locked. I will get them sorted out, right? I'm trying to organize all the data that I have, including the few hundred videos on YouTube. Whatever happened to me on YouTube was very unfortunate. So, you know, it made me take a step back to reevaluate how I manage all this information. So thank you truly for your patience. I'm trying to organize them better. And that's why you see me experimenting in this past 2 weeks. You see me experimenting with live streams and in different formats. So I always feel that a certain crisis leads to more opportunities as long as you're willing to try. I could have just called it a day, you know, but I thought, hey, if you're gonna throw lemons at me, I'm going to make lemonade out of it. So this is why, you know, I'm trying live stream now. Otherwise, in usual circumstances, I certainly would not have even attempted this. So God is always good, you know, in times of difficulty. As long as we seek Him and we find alternatives, as long as we keep fighting, we will find a way. You know, God will help us find a way. And there you have it. This is why I'm doing live streams now, and I'm trying to get familiar with it. Right, so I'm seeing some, take it easy, man, guys. Right, you guys got to take it easy. If you're losing your temper over small technical matters, You're not going to endure in the long run. I'm taking a look at the chat in YouTube. Now, take it easy, guys. It's Sunday. It's relaxed. No big deal if this is locked, right? Just let me know. I'll just unlock it. You start screaming that I'm shady and whatever, and it speaks more about you than me. Regardless, let's carry on. But see, this is what I have to deal with sometimes in the larger magnitude. Can you imagine that? And if I don't properly create a system for us, I have a duty now to you. If we are going to build a project together, I have to be very careful with the framework that we're dealing with. That if I introduce and allow destructive people in our midst, how can we grow? So I think that's the difficulty of growing something. I have a plan now, because you're part of the journey. I have a duty to you, right? If I want 100M exit and bring you along with it, there's certain legalities that I have to think about. There's certain policies I have to think about. There's a roadmap we have to think about. It gives me purpose, yes. There's a reason now why we can decide to do this together. But there are things that I just have to do it properly. And therefore, the point and the essence of a lifetime membership. Because you don't have to pay more just to get in, right? So anyway, let's get back to this. I want to wrap up the Lifers meeting quickly. Sorry for the distraction. So you see, people like that, they just distract me. So it's so unmeaningful. Yep, sure. Technical questions, I'll talk about that. Yep, I answered that. Good morning. If you don't know what this is, you don't know what this is. All right. So this was people who have tried to sign up for the Lifers in 2024, but they have not done so. So in a way, 2024, I think, yeah, it's been 2 years, 1 year technically, because it's end of 2024. Right, so these are for the earlier members who tried to sign up and had the technical difficulties. So I'm just following up on that. So it's nothing special. You're not missing out, right, if you don't have that email, so don't worry. Yeah, I will make sure that you are inducted at the price you were promised, so don't worry. I will send it to you, yeah. Yep, if you see this, you're a lifer, yeah? If you're in this lifer tab. Yep. Yeah, thanks for answering for me, yeah, some of you. Yep. Yeah. So regarding payment, just keep me informed. I will be reading your messages in due time. Sometimes they get drowned out, so do just drop me a DM. I will get to that when I can. But in the meantime, you have to deal with Patreon. Your billing information, as I mentioned in previous videos, and I will repeat that again because this is important. I do not have the ability to bill you or to charge you. This is why I outsource to platforms like Patreon. They conduct all the billings for me. I cannot press a button and charge you. You understand that? I can't do that. I don't have access to your payment information. I don't have your credit card numbers. I don't have your billing information. I have zero information on that. They do it for me. They are like an escrow for me, protecting you and me. So the reason I pay an extra, if I'm not wrong, I'm paying 12 or 15% fees, right? Because I want that protection. So it helps when you deal with them. It's so much better than directly dealing with me, because I don't want to be the person managing the money, right? So it creates a very clear boundary between me and you, right? When it comes to money matters. Money matters are very tricky, right? So I don't want to be directly managing money. And so that's why we have platforms like Patreon doing it for me, even though I'm paying extra. Right, so once again, I don't have your billing information. I cannot press a button and charge you money. So you understand that, right? They are managing everything that it has to do with money, and that's my way of trying to create a boundary, because I don't want this to become a money business. It's got nothing to do with that. We make money through our trading, and so I want to be extremely above board when it comes to money. But yes, if you're facing like extreme difficulties, so what I'm trying to say is most of the problems you probably can deal with it on your end, because I don't have the power to do that. But if you require to escalate to me, for me to do something about it, yeah, let me know. I will be happy to try to attempt to help. All right. WAP is the same thing, right? When it comes to WAP, it's the same as Patreon. They are an escrow. It's the same. I do not have your billing information. I cannot press a button and charge you. So this is why I use platforms like that, right? Instead of directly charging you. So, I mean, they are charging me crazy fees. Let me tell you that. Like 12 to 15%, as I tell you. That's crazy, crazy fees. Right? If someone out there who's trying to streamline what I'm doing, it will give me a good dressing down for doing this. But hey, I'm doing it because I want the job done, and then money doesn't matter to me. Right? So please do what you can, because I don't have the control, but I will help you if you escalate it to me. If it's truly something that you can't do it. Yeah, all right. I like this question, right? This question is suitable for a story time, which I will share later. So let me just earmark some story time that I want to talk about later. So let me just copy this, and where can I paste it? Maybe here. All right. Another one I saw. Yeah, I will come to that later. Yeah, okay. Yep, okay, I will talk about this in the course, yeah? Don't worry, right? It will be obviously a democratic system. I will not be making the final decision. Everyone will be, right? So we will keep each other accountable, right? All right, okay. Yeah, I will talk about that. Yep, all in the course, I will talk about that. Patreon has no affiliate system, so only WAP. That's why I'm still sticking with WAP for now. Although I'm sure some of you have known that I'm not too keen on using them on the long term, but at the meantime, they're all right, and some of us have already committed to that. So I will be equally committed with you to WAP at the meantime. So you will the patron charge at a higher rate. So, you've got to ask Patreon first, what's the problem? Because there could be some technical details that I am not aware of. So even if you were to escalate it to me, I do not have the full picture. Have you sent emails to Patreon? Please do that. So at least they provide you some guidance. And if you can have the whole story, the entire trail of what's going on, and you forward them to me, maybe I will have a better context, and if you escalate it to me, I can bring it up to Patreon. I will be more helpful in that manner, instead of just sending it to me for me to investigate, because I will honestly tell you I don't have time to investigate, and I don't have the access to investigate as well. So for example, your account, I cannot demand information from Patreon regarding your account. Because, like I tell you, your billing information, everything is kept private. I don't have access to that, right? That's in my terms and conditions with Patreon. No, I will find a way. I don't know what's the money situation going to be like. We have not even gone through the regulatory, but yes, I want it to be meaningful for you, and also in a way that if we are part of if we own the software together, right? I want to find a way to monetize it so that we can exit together as well, right? That's the point of that shareholding that I was talking to you about. Yeah, let's change the game together. Yeah, let's change that, right? Something is wrong. If we continue to do what's wrong, right, we're just going to sink even deeper. So we want to do something different with the right fundamentals and, most importantly, with the right values. If you do things that honor God, God will honor you, right? So it's not about the money, right? They are going for the short wins. They're trying to cash out as much as they can and run away. You see so many cases of that. It's just not right. Justice will catch up to them, right? Or even God will catch up to them. Right and wrong, it's not just a concept that we experience here in earth, in our lifetime. You have to know that, right? The concept of right and wrong is going to be for eternity. Be careful the decisions you make today. Yes, I will be ironing them out. Like what I mentioned, the policies, I still have to think through them, including the rules. But it's not going to be too far from what we're doing here on a daily basis. So the values and the fundamentals that we are doing on the daily basis here, it's going to be about the same. For sure, I will be getting help from the developers in our midst. It will be silly for me not to, right? Because if we have all the big brains here, right? But let me find a way that I can do that in a meaningful manner, right? Because I want to respect your time, and I don't want to, like what I always, someone always remind me, too many chefs will ruin the soup, right? So we have to be very careful about how to calibrate all our brilliance and crystallize them together. All right, so that requires wisdom. So do keep me in your prayers. I will need wisdom to pick your big brains. Yeah. Well, I have to check this, right? Because I'm not too sure. Mine's a different license. I'm paying a lot more. So I'm sure they're consumer grade ones. I'm not sure which one will be the cheaper one. I'm sure you can ChatGPT this. Right, I think it will be more useful for you. Mine's a different license. Yeah, okay. This is a difficult one to answer immediately, but this will be recorded here, right? And I will be discussing this in the course for sure, right? So all these will be answered in the course. But you see, that's the thing. This answer to this will not be in one sentence. You realize that it could be bits and pieces throughout, let's say, 5 weeks or lesson. So you have to consolidate all the lessons together, and it makes sense to you eventually, right? So that's the point of learning. It has to be done, right? So yeah, noted. I hope you heard my response to this as well. Yep, thanks for the suggestion, right? Keep them coming. All these suggestions are great, right? Because I compile them, all these answers and all these questions. Yeah, for sure, I will be. Thank you for the suggestions, Yeah, in my funeral, as I have agreed, right? You are going to be invited to my funeral. I have to be honest with you. I almost died last year. I really did. God has kept me alive, so I thought, hey, I think I need to do more. Well, not last year, 2024. I truly almost died 2024. So when I mentioned about the funeral, I'm not joking, but it's an old joke that I don't think it's very meaningful now, because I'm not dying now. Well, I am dying by the minute, but it wasn't as serious as it was then. Yeah, so I hope you don't mind when I make jokes like that, right? It truly had gravity at that time when I made that joke first. Yeah, this one, right? This you have to deal with Patreon. I don't know why. Some of you are experiencing higher rates. But what I can do is let me think what I can do about this, because I'm very limited on my end. As I told you, it's not a customized software. Patreon has very, very limited functions. So for example, I cannot change the rates for individual members. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I've learned to do that. I truly learned to do that. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Small account. Let's build it up. Let's accumulate. You obviously can do this even with a small account. I've shown you. Day in, day out. It's absolutely possible. You just have to have more self-control. It's gonna be more difficult, yes. So you have to buck up, pull up your socks. There are lots more to do. Yeah. Yeah. Cheers, man. Yep. Oh boy, I have no idea if we're gonna get there, right? But if we're gonna get there, we're gonna get there together, right? The reason why 100M is because I'll talk about that another time. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I know, but if you're sponsoring someone, if you're putting in money to sponsor someone, I have to respect your what you want, right? So it became difficult for me at a point in time when there are people who wanted more. So I just have to be more careful. The things we're doing, it's community based now, and I don't have the time to go case by case and to deal with that. Yeah, for sure. This is going to story time later. Right. This, I don't know why. You see, that's the thing. I have no control over this. And I don't like this to happen. This is not great. I don't like this to happen. So send me more information if you can. If you can chat with WAP, find out exactly what's wrong, then you escalate it to me. So know that I cannot control this. Know that I don't know what to do about this, right? So I don't have time to investigate as well. I don't like this happening. And I have no control. I do not control WAP. I tell you, I have no information on the billing. So figure this out, please, if you can. You only you have the power to do it. You can ask WAP, you can ask whoever, and then you build the context for me, and you investigate it and you escalate it. Then I can help you. So understand how we work together like that. Yeah. Yep. Thanks. Okay, I'm gonna stop from here. Yeah, now. So this is going to be our secret sauce, which I am not going to review today. All right? So there will be a secret regarding this, which I'm not going to review today. Yep, we thought about this. So, yeah. Next meeting update, yeah? Well done. This is exactly what we're doing with the... what we're doing now is we are creating entire database of all the inputs. So that's the other well, I would call it an application that we are working on. So there is a knowledge database that can be easily searched, that can even be agentic, as you mentioned. So yes, I'll definitely pick all your big brains. So thank you for that. Yeah, Obsidian is great. I use Obsidian too. So for sure, yes. Nope. Either one. It's either Patreon or WAP. All right, I'm done with the Lifers meeting. I will keep this chat alive, so you can just send me. Even if I'm not answering them on live stream, they're all recorded. I will run through them and I will answer them at another time. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Lifers. I hope you get some updates. We will have more updates. My goal is to have a fortnightly meeting. right? So once every 2 weeks, at least. So if I have more updates by the next weekend, we will have another meeting then. But yes, it's going to be exciting ahead, right? And most importantly, for the members who know the 6 letters, be patient, but you are in the system already. Just be patient. I'm trying to find a way to get you in. Thank you for your patience, right? Okay, we're going to go part 2, right? And for part 2, for everyone else, please hover to this SPY Trade Analysis tab and you will see Q&A live stream. All right, so, yep. Fire away your questions. I will answer later at the end of the stream. Okay, after the chart analysis and the usual that we're trying to do. Right, I like the Ferrari question. So anyway, it's a 458 if you need to know. Fell in love with it, yeah. I still miss it. Fantastic. Even today, I think 20 years later, still such a great car, isn't it? Fantastic. I was so in love with it. Yeah, anyway. Yes, you can watch it later. We'll start the chart analysis in 5 minutes. Please allow me to have a 5 minutes break. Need a toilet break. Very quick one, and we will get back to this. Now, once again, lifers, I will not lock this yet. Please just make sure that you do what you need here, all right? Just send me some messages and thereafter I will be answering you later. I think only lifers can send. Yep. So far, everyone's a lifer. Yeah, so don't worry. Let me know why you think so, Mimi. Right, so give me 5 minutes. I'll be back, and we will start proper in the prep for the week. Yeah, give me 5 minutes. Thank you. All right, I'm back. Thank you for your patience. Okay, let's get it started. Proper. Welcome again. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for staying in after 1 hour. Sorry it, overran a little. But I hope you got your updates, or even if you're not a lifetime member, You get updates on understanding your trajectory, right? Because you're also part of the journey, right? So anyway, let's get to some training on Friday. But I think the biggest question right now for some of you is what to expect from the market this week, isn't it? So let's just talk a little bit about that, right? Obviously, if you have been sleeping through the weekend and you just woke up, for example, and you don't know what's going on, well, firstly, the president has, declared his very strong intention to reclaim Greenland, which belongs to Denmark. Well, technically, it belongs to the administration of Denmark, who is a NATO member of the EU, a big part of the EU. And so he has introduced tariffs to, funnily enough, just some EU countries, but the entire EU has a single tax system, so he's technically providing an entire tariff on the entire EU because of that. So it seems that the intention to whatever that word is, right? Purchase, annex, invade, whatever it is. But it's just not something out of the diplomacy playbook. So this has obviously rattled sentiments. Well, the market is not open, so we don't know what's the reaction to the market. And Monday is a trading holiday. So on Monday night, where the futures market open, we will see a reaction to that. If you would like to know the macro implications of that, this is what I want to tell you. The world has become very tightly interconnected because of globalization, because of immigration, because of trade. Because of obviously the purchase of debt in between countries, and that's where you have your balance of trade, and that has to be intertwined with your foreign currencies. And also, the only reason why we have grown so quickly as a world today, the fact that we have technological leaps. So we have accomplished so much in this past 100 years compared to the past 5,000 years, for example. Right? You understand that, right? So the past 5,000 years is nothing comparable to the past 100 years that we had. So this is known as your technological leap. Now, the reason this happens is because of trade, right? So you realize that we can take certain raw materials from one country or another country, and we put them all together and we create something different, we create something new. So in a way, the entire world is tying up resources together in order to grow together. So we are very, very intertwined as a world. And this is why diplomacy is important, right? This is why trade relations is very important. The minute the president, who firstly does not have the full power, you have to understand that the United States of America is still, I would choose to believe, we still have the separation of power, right? So the president only represents the executive branch, right? There's still the judicial branch and the legislative branch. So the legislative, which is your Congress, does have certain powers, and so do the judicial, which is your Supreme Court, for example. This is why the Supreme Court is about to lay a certain verdict regarding the tariffs that the executive branch, which is the president, the White House, has implemented. But it's not as simple as that, because it's not a chain of command. You understand that. There are three branches of power, but it's not by chain of command. And so there are processes behind that, and that's why certain things take time, and therefore there's leeway that's given. So for example, the White House or the executive branch can, for example, invade or go to war with a certain country with some time. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. If you're a legal professional, but they can do that. For example, with Venezuela, and allow 30 days for Congress to give them the go ahead. So it's not as simple as a chain of command, right? There is room, a leeway, but at the end of the day, they have to be accountable to all three branches. So the minute the White House has decided, or America has decided, to invade, annex, purchase, whatever the word is, Greenland, we would have broken a very solemn, pact with NATO, and it could surmount to a declaration of war, which isn't good, right? Because when that happens, you have to also understand that the entire monetary system is not just plainly on the United States, right? We do have a lot of debt that is owed to the European Union, to China, and to the rest of the world. That's how the world works, right? We lend and we borrow money. We transfer money from places to places in order to purchase, in order to grow, in order to take what we don't have and to give what we have more in excess. And that's the basics of trade. So you have to understand that, right? There are consequences to that. And what I've learned in my life is that the louder the rhetoric, the quieter the action. If they have to say it out loud, they are probably not going to do it, right? Because they are trying to get attention in order to work around it. I truly do not believe that there will be invasion. Deep in my heart, I also don't want to believe that to happen. But if it happens, you're not going to miss it, right? If it happens, let me tell you what's going to happen if it happens. If we truly invade, and in we, I want to dissociate myself because I'm not part of that we, but if the United States of America decide to invade, purchase, or annex Greenland, this is going to happen, all right? Straight to 200-day moving average, at least. When that happens and it crosses the bottom Bollinger, you buy puts. You'll be fine, right? You hedge your position, you'll be fine. So technically, on the charts, it will take several days for this to come to terms to that. But before that happens, we may have a pullback because people want to risk off, which may present an opportunity to buy. Because hopefully, Trump is just trying to cut a deal by raising his voice with this rhetoric. Yeah, you understand the negotiation style that the President of the United States is known for. So hopefully that's the case. If that happens, obviously everyone's thinking it's going to be red on Tuesday. Right? I don't know. But we have the algorithms to guide us penny to the penny. So I will guide you right now what to be looking out for here. You don't have to worry. When you see it happen, you're prepared for it. So at the meantime, remember I told you last week when the bottom Bollinger was a flat line, this was a perfect time to hedge. You remember last live stream that I talked about. Yeah. So if your hedge is cheap, you will see all these red days now will mean nothing to you. You sleep very well at night. even though you have an eight-figure portfolio, right? This is why you see I sleep well at night. Exactly why. You're always hedged. It's what I call a cost of doing business, right? You will always have a cost of doing business. Work out the cost and you use it to hedge. Right? So I'm not too worried. If it gets to bottom Bollinger and starts falling, you notice every red drop, every falling knife now. Let's take a look at Liberation Day. Look at Liberation Day. It's always a falling bottom Bollinger with a 5-day falling through. You will have a chance to hedge this, right? It's not going down so quickly. It will take time to go down, right? Because unless war breaks out immediately, and you remember, as I mentioned in last live stream as well, what determines a crash? What determines a crash is if very core competencies are crippled. So, for example, your transportation, right? Transportation, your communication, right? Well, transportation's including your logistics, right? Of your food, of your daily needs, right? So this is why COVID was such a big deal, right? Because this was down, but yet communication stock went up because, the money has to go through to that. So as long as a core competency is not crippled, we are not heading down yet. There will be some risk off, so which means there will be some selling, right? In order for there's some people who prefer to keep cash in that way, or they will start putting it in commodities like your gold, silver. This is the reason why you see gold and silver at all-time highs, or even Bitcoin, which is returning back to $100,000 if I'm not wrong. If I'm not wrong, it's about 95 now. I'm not sure. Haven't been keeping track this past 2 days. So don't worry too much if you're all doom and gloom, right? If war does break out, you're not going to miss it, right? And there will be opportunities here. Even if you have put your money in the stock market, it's a lost cause as well if truly war breaks out all around the world. I know that. Even if you bought gold ETF, it's useless, right? Because it's just a piece of paper unless you have physical gold. That's the thing, right? Even if you have physical gold, you need a vault to keep it, and you need to protect the vault. So you see, for lay people like us, for retailers like us, if crises really do break out, we don't stand a chance. We have no mechanisms to protect us from the larger bodies of power in that crisis, right? So even if you have gold bars, say you have gold bars, what are you going to do? Put them in a backpack and run? But the truly rich will have vaults that are so secure and safe, and they will have armed guards to protect all these vaults. You see, there's a chasm between us and them. So you have to be very wary of that sense of security that you provide for yourself. Your sense of security will no longer be about money, will no longer be about material, but your survival rather will be so much more sophisticated than the material needs, right? Even though, obviously food and water is still important. So just know that if truly war breaks out, your absolute doom and gloom, nothing matters here anymore, right? But before that, don't worry, right? If it gets to bottom Bollinger, you've seen it. We will figure it out. There will always be a way to still hedge then. Don't worry. So now let's take a look at a 30-minute chart. We have the context now. Let's properly talk about what to be waiting out for. Nothing you are unfamiliar with. I talked about this liquidity, isn't it? I said that there is a reason why they built some liquidity there. If this wants to head down, you will not miss it. Now, on Friday, we see the orange have started to show near the end of day here. Right? The orange started to show near end of day. All right. So you see how there is orange selling and there is a magenta. Liquidity is here where the 20-day moving average is. So if this wants to head down, you remember there's a liquidity there to grab the right shoulder. This is nothing new to you because we have already closed the cup previously, as I mentioned, at the 20-day moving average. And this was just the handle that was forming, because you see how blue was still in control here, isn't it? Now, however, the green is building liquidity here. If the market wants to bounce back, this is very clear liquidity where the 5-day moving average will be. So just pay close attention to that if that happens. If there is a larger crash, take it easy, because you remember this larger blue liquidity level here where I mentioned the bottom Bollinger is. Let's take a look where the bottom Bollinger is right now. Let's see. 679. $6.79 right here. So you see it's still in the blue band, right? So the bottom Bollinger has always been in this blue band here, building liquidity as well here, right? So don't worry, if we get there, your cups will close. You notice the cup will close where the 679 will be. Very beautiful level around there, and you will see more liquidity building down. By then, if it goes down, your 5-day will cross below 20-day. Your 5-day will catch up with the bottom Bollinger, and together they will start trending down if this wants to go down further. So look out for this blue zone. Right, if this wants to go down further, you will not miss it. And obviously, a 20-day moving average first with this blue level, right? Your 5-day, it will start turning resistance if it wants to head down, and start trending down if it wants to, in order to retest the 20-day. So pay close attention to which selling algorithm is building the liquidity, because if it's magenta, it's not strong enough, right? You want to see orange selling, or even better, the stronger green selling algorithm here. When you understand this, you know how to be gauging the strength of the selling. You will know what are the key levels to look out for if this wants to dump even further. So don't worry about that for now. What you need to also worry about is if we do have any possibilities of bouncing back. Now, there is beautiful liquidity here, right? If it takes some time, which it may, we don't know when the market will build liquidity again. But if it wants to head down further to the bottom Bollinger, for example, and grab the liquidity here, this is absolutely fine as well. So it may take some time, right? Several weeks, but you're ready because you understand the liquidity at play. You know how to be hedging your plays as well. But otherwise, it can be as small as this, because we can even just retest 20-day moving average, right? Bounce off the blue because it's a nothing burger, and we start building liquidity and pushing our way up. But otherwise, what I would prefer is for cups to close. When you see cups closing, you know that the sellers of that zone will already be choked up. People are selling here because they're scared, right? So this will be full of sellers here. And once that happens, you will be able to gauge, especially 5-day will start plateauing and start trending up again. So nothing surprising, right? I like this because when you see the Bollinger starting to crunch up together, when it starts to compress, when it starts to contract, you know a bigger move is coming, because they become very attainable, right? They become easy targets for the market to build. So watch out for the Bollingers as well. You keep a lookout for them. So far so good, yes. Nothing that you are not unfamiliar with. So pay close attention. Let's wait for Tuesday, when Monday night, when it opens at 6 p.m., the futures market, we will have a clearer understanding then. And I'll prep you accordingly on Tuesday. All right? You'll be fine. So you'll be absolutely fine. Let's go to questions. Probably a lot of questions, so don't mind me. I may not be able to answer all of them, yeah? Thank you for your understanding. Yeah, where are we at? Okay. Yeah, most of them will be able to be, you can view on demand later. The video will be available on demand. First Ferrari story. You will never forget your first Ferrari. Yeah. Uh, it was, as I mentioned, it was a 458. I was still quite junior then. Let's just put it very simply. I was buying something that I shouldn't be able to afford then. I could have used the money better to impress people who don't care about me. And sometimes I don't like, or don't like me too. So it was just a very silly thing to do. But looking back, if I had better guidance, I wouldn't have done it. But with what I had, with what I've got, I would do it again in a heartbeat. There are just experiences in life that you have to do it, yes. But only if you come out unscathed, which I did, right? I came out unscathed, I'm all right. But if today I have nothing, I would look back and think I'm so silly, So you see, the victors will write the history. You realize that, you notice that, right? So everything works well when you win in the end. That story becomes a good story only because I've won in the end, right? But if today I have absolutely nothing, I will look back and I will think I have made a grave mistake. So the thing about life is this, right? You just have to be extremely honest with yourself. Was that the wisest decision then? It was completely meaningless. But yet, as as a little boy in me, it was the best thing that happened. So it's important you have guidance in your life, right? Someone to guide you. If I had someone then to tell me that was a bad thing to do, I wouldn't have done it, because I would have listened to that person more than listened to that little boy in myself. So you notice that, right? So it's important you find guidance. You have someone to guide you, and that's where, after which, my boss told me about his Prius, and that opened my mind, right? So, see, if you didn't have someone to guide you, you will not have very, very, very strong values you can fall back to, and your decisions will be wavered, right? It can be right, it can be wrong, and what's right and what's wrong is only determined if you win or lose at the end, which I don't think it's a great way to gauge whether your decision is right or wrong. Right, so I told you, I made it out alive, and so I look back and I thought it wasn't an inconsequential decision, but actually it was. It should be. And that's only because no one was guiding me then, yeah? All right. You will never forget your first supercar. You will never, never, ever forget. And these are stories, right? I wish you'd be able to tell your children. Hopefully. But are they important stories? My children don't. My children don't care, man. I mean, they remember the time I spent with them in Disneyland more than my Ferrari story. You realize the difference, right? So when you can discern that, you will be a happier person, because no big deal. No big deal. It doesn't matter. Let me just tell you that it doesn't matter in the end. All right, it fulfills a certain boyhood dream, but that's about it. It doesn't matter. No one cares. The woman that will be attracted to you will be the one that's willing to take the Prius. Right? I'll put it that. Yeah. Wrong reasons, yeah? So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I'm sorry, I digress. All right, next. Yep. Yeah, we will get there. Don't worry, man. We will get there. When the time comes, we will get there. But thank you for putting it in print here for now, right? Everything is for the record, so please just note down whatever questions, even if I don't answer them today. Yeah. Cheers, man. Yep, I'm trying to work on that, be able to connect it with the other brokers. Hey, don't worry, man. As I told you, hey, I got you. All right, if you're in the SDT LTM, I got you, man. All right, I mean it. Right, you were with me when I was about to die. I mean it, man. I got you. I got your back. In the past, dividend stocks are great, but not in today's world. Let me see, how do I explain this? Right, how much dividends can a proper dividend stock give you? Coca-Cola, for example, how much is it giving? I don't know, 3%. Well, the point is, you can get better yield from high yield saving accounts in high inflation times, right? And in today's stock market with lots of derivatives, you can even get higher returns by selling covered calls. So dividends it's still important if you're in your stage of your life that you're depending on retirement and you need a dividends, for example. It's still very powerful, especially if you have very high principal. So there is a certain strategy to that, obviously. So it differs, but you just got to know what you're dealing with. There are people that swear by dividends. They think it's a cash return. I don't particularly think so. I think you can get cash in different ways if you are more skilled, like writing options, or even day trading, for example. But that's dangerous, right? So day trading cannot be more than 4 to 5% of what you have. Right? As I always mention, your stop loss must always be 4 to 5% of your account. Try to keep it as low as possible. Right? And day trading is very, very volatile. So there are ways you can just, for example, there are ETFs that are constantly selling covered calls. Right, I can't remember the ticker, but there are ETFs that are selling covered calls. I don't particularly remember what they are. So they can be better than dividends, for example. Right, so do explore. I'll be talking about that, obviously, in the course. Everything will be quite comprehensive. A big range, just this is what you mean by volatility, right? So volatility is basically a measure of your implied move. Right? Implied move will be the market is pricing in how much the market will be moving over a period of time. Right? So volatility happens when there is catalyst or news and there's uncertainty. So in this case, the thing about uncertainties, the thing about news is that there's always many different takes to a news. So, for example, this Greenland news that happened. The uncertainty is there are people that are betting against it, and there are people betting for it. So that creates a large range, right? There are people who are willing to take bigger bets, and that's why you have larger range in there. So what you want as a day trader is more volatility. But yet, as a portfolio manager, which all of you must be, for yourself at least, you don't like volatility. So how do you deal with that? By hedging, by ensuring that your portfolio is protected at the top and the bottom. Now, usually you don't protect it at the top because what you're buying is going to be appreciating, and that's what you want. So you don't protect the top. But you try to make money by selling covered calls in order to fund your puts. You understand that logic behind that? So when you can understand that strategy behind that, you will do well as a portfolio manager, right? Because you're trying to extract value from your portfolio in order to hedge the bottom of your portfolio. And then once you are able to manage the volatility, you find a way to take a small portion of your money and you ride the volatility by day trading. right? So that's how we make money both ways, in every way. Volatility, lack of volatility, whatever it is, there's a strategy for you to do. And that's what I want to do for you when we talk about accumulating and growing your wealth. All right. That's all I'll talk about that in the course as well tomorrow. I will provide you a roadmap, what we're trying to do, so you have a clearer picture of what you want to achieve in 2026. Oh yeah, all right, sure. I'll check. Is this really a problem? I just want to know. Let me know if this is a problem. Yeah, thanks. In the YouTube chat, someone has mentioned all the covered calls tickers. Yeah, go check them out. Yeah. So that's one way to do that. Yeah. Yeah, I will talk about all these in the course, but yes, keep them in here so that I can have them in the record, so I know what are the more frequently asked questions. Yes, I will update them soon, very soon. I'm trying to organize all the information here. And by the way, shout out to Emperor. If you have not already known, he's taking a short break, so keep him in your prayers. He's serving us with together with a lot of others, right? He served us every single day. He checks in every single day. So I wonder if you know that he's been absent for a while, and if you notice that, just drop him a text, send him your regards. Please do that, yeah, if you can. It would be really, really good for him to be reminded that you thought of him and you have benefited from him. So yeah, I will update your charts. Yeah. Yep, I will. Certainly, it will be quite comprehensive, but I want to see how I can branch out. So maybe the course, I'm looking to do concurrently something that's for beginners and something that's slightly more advanced, but at the same time, I'm trying to see how I can progress like that. This will be ideal. If I have the time, obviously, this will be great. But if you're trading every day, I may not have the time to do that. Remember, we're not selling courses. I'm trading every day. What I'm trying to do is to build that trading information that we're doing every day into something more digestible for you. So it's not the other way around, whereby we're packaging courses and selling. You see the difference, right? So do pardon me, because the bread and butter is still in this channel here. Everything is in this channel. The bread and butter is here as you see what we're doing every day. Yeah? All right. Let's carry on. Yes, but it will be more expensive in future for sure. This, you need the metrics. If you do not have your metrics, you can never grow. So develop your metrics. For me, as I tell you, my daily profits, if I get to 30 to 40% a day in my day trading profits, I'm about there. I'm about maxed out, right? So the way for me to make 10,000 is to have minimally 50,000 in my account. So getting 20% will be 10,000. That's realistic for me, right? So if I get more than 30 to 40% profits, what happens is I know that my risks, I'm taking too much risks. So I have to learn to scale down. So this metric is very important for you. You have to develop that because that's your edge, right? And it's something that I wouldn't say it's fully measurable or tangible, but it sticks with you because it's something that you trust with. As with a lot of things in life, right? It's not truly tangible, but if you have a way of being familiar with that number, being familiar with a certain pattern that you are able to repeat day in, day out, you trust it. So while this is not a absolute figure, what I'm trying to tell you is that you will know that comfortable number for yourself as you keep track, as you that's why superstition is involved too, right? Some people get superstitious because this certain number has stuck with them for a long time. So that's how it develops, right? So there's no fully tangible number that's measurable, right? We are not robots. We are just human beings. right? Yeah, of course I will. Yeah. What an interesting question. Not really a student of that. But I think the one that I'm aware of is know your enemy? Yeah. Not that we have enemies here. Yeah. For sure, I will find a way, right? Appreciate. Certainly, I will find a way to do that. Yeah, I hear you. I will find a way to do that. And so this is why I always mentioned from the course, if I'm starting, right, you make as much money as possible. Because in the trading world, a few $100s is nothing. Right? If you decide to partake in this, you have to think really big. Because making a few $100s is nothing, right? It's not the reason you should be here. If you're making a few $100s, I'd rather you be learning plumbing, for example. You can make that few $100s in a day, easy. There are professions out there that can make better with less pain. So if you decide to embark here, you need to know what is the propensity of the skill you're learning, and you work towards that. So money shouldn't be. You shouldn't have this mindset whereby you're thinking, I want to. Can you make it easier for me? But I want to challenge you. But once again, I will not leave you behind. So that's why the course is opened. You don't have to be a lifetime member to experience the course. I ensure that every one of you today, if you're a Discord member today, you have access to the course immediately. No extra charge. It's absolutely free for you. That's why I want you to have that education so that you can properly make money. So anything that involves money is no longer a consideration for you because you have the means to supply yourself with that earning power. So when we have a big project, and I have a Series A, for example, that I want you in, you have the means to do that. When we have an orphanage we want to open somewhere, I don't have to go through all the bureaucratic red tapes. I can get you in. We can do something very quickly. If I need to mobilize funds for some widows in a war zone, we can do that quickly. That's the power of having that resources, of that earning power. You notice that. And that's why I'm going to hold you to a high standard, right? And so it starts with your mindset. Stop looking at things wanting to put yourself in the box you shouldn't. Right? Break out of it. And that's the first step. And I hope you taste the first taste of success, of that prosper, and you will start prospering in your life. Right, the news now from the EU. Retaliating with tariffs. Oh, I can't wait for the market to open, but unfortunately it's not opening tomorrow. Let's wait then. Yep, I will talk about this in the course as well, yes. Yeah, maybe a book list, yes. I think this is a good question. I will put in a book list for you. Let's see. You have access to the course, don't worry, just stay subbed, yeah? Yeah, I will cover all these properly. I will have a onboarding video. I will do a live stream just for onboarding once I organize everything. The beauty of the algorithms that we have, right? As even take a look at my algorithms there. As messy as it looks, it's actually useful and meaningful. If I wanted to, which is technically what is happening in a proper AI software, it's like that, right? This is what you see. At every price point, you will see like that. And this is not wrong. Even if this happens, you are not wrong, right? But the problem is, how meaningful is it for you as a human being in using this information to take a trade? And so there is a certain beauty in that chaos, that we have some simplicity. You notice that. So be careful when you are automating the algorithms, right? It's useful if you're doing high frequency trading. If you also have a related program to do that. But otherwise, it will confuse you, because if it retests a certain line that you have, what sort of trading decision will you make? So just be careful, right? And there's a reason why I don't create an automated version of it, although I can. So know the reason why, because at the end of the day, we are still making trading decisions as a human being. It still must have something that's simple enough, even though it's chaotic, right? It's still penny perfect, right? It's still simple. It's simple. You can make a trading decision if you want to, right? So understand that. But I will cover this. Yes, of course. The algorithms are a big part of the course. A later part of the course, not the early part. But yes, I will talk about them. Scale down, guys. One of the things that I do, right? Say I start with 10,000 in my account. Say I made, as I told you, about 30 to 40%, right? Say I made 40%, so I made $4,000 profit. What do? Immediately I cut it into half. I take this 2,000 and I trade with this. I assure myself $2,000 profit. If you don't have a system like that to protect yourself, you protect your trade all the time, you are going to blow your account. Every trade you go full in, you have no understanding of risks because you have no metrics of your risk. So you realize the rules that I set, right? When 2 reds and you're out, 3 trades a day, as I have explained in the last live stream, right? Your trade number 1, trade number 2, trade number 3. If you start with 2 reds, you're gone. That's it. That's it for your day, right? If you have a green and 2 reds, you're dead. You're gone. That's it. That's it for the day. 2 greens, 1 red, you're also gone. That's it for the day. 3 trades maximum. But when you have a system like that and 2 reds or 3 trades a day, you will be protected with a 1:2 risk to reward. You will never blow your account, especially with the rules 4 to 5% of your stop loss as your account. And additionally, as I told you, 10,000, if you make 4,000, you split it immediately. You take the 2,000 to trade instead of the 2,000. And you keep the other 2,000, so you're assured profits. When you have systems like that in place, you will never blow your account. Can you do that? Can you put systems like that in your place? And this is the same reason why in a first trade, let's say you take 4 contracts, you immediately take 2 contracts to protect the trade. So even if you go red, you will not go completely bust. It's about protecting yourself. Find ways to protect yourself. No one is going to protect you from the market but yourself. So you have to put in all the measures in place. This is a habit you have to develop. And most people don't have this habit. Why? Because they play games in a way that you can continually respawn. I started playing games, my first experience in hardcore mode. I talked about this before. In Diablo 2. I played this when I was, how old was I? Long time ago, man. But the first time I selected hardcore mode, I didn't know what it was back then, but I clicked it and I played it. So this was the first time I played D2, it was on hardcore mode. You hear that? Yes. And I've learned so much. That's the best thing that happened to me, because I learned that progress is useless if you're going to die. And so your entire perspective is to stay alive. And when you can do that, then progress becomes meaningful. In today's world, when we play games, we spawn all the time. It's okay to die. And because of that, You chase after progress. You don't chase after survival. And somehow I feel that the world is intently trying to brainwash the younger generation to be more reckless and more rash with the games like that. You either pay to win or you can respawn and you're fine. Just try your luck. Just take the risks. It's okay to die. You can respawn later. And all these are not useful in life. So I was blessed. I truly was to accidentally start my gaming journey. Well, D2 wasn't my first game, but I started a truly epic game in hardcore mode, and I learned it that way. I was indoctrinated from young that way. Obviously, we played with the community computer. If you probably don't even know what's that, some of you, right? You've never had to share a computer in your life, have you? Lucky you. But yeah, if you were like me, we had to share a computer. Maybe that's why, I don't really remember the details, but maybe that's why the hardcore mode was checked. So whoever played it first in hardcore saved my life. And I didn't even know. So anyway. Alright. Yes. Risk management. It's everything. If you're in the military, I'm sure that's what they teach you. Gain your ground slowly, right? Just ensure that you're covered. I'm sure many games are also like that, teaching you about risk management more than just finding progress. But I implore you, if you're a young man or woman listening to this, learning trading, want you to approach the game in very, very conservative manner, in a very defensive manner, right? Try to stay alive. That's what you need to be doing. Manage your risks. Progress is useless if you are going to die. You know the idea. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you can deal a lot of damage. If you're going to die the next monster you meet, then you lose everything, right? Hardcore mode means you lose everything. Yeah, got it. Yeah. I mean, great work, man. All you guys who are trying to chart the algorithms or trying to game the system. There's nothing to game, right? You see me chart every single day. You know exactly how it's done because you see it happening. What I want you to do is to learn to use it meaningfully for your own use. Right? Because at the end of the day, all these translate to something more important, which is your trading decision. Your decision to take the trade is so much more important than identifying the algorithms, which are supposed to help you to do that. Yep. Yeah. That's me, I think. Yeah. Yep. Some of the levels, you have to understand. It's not necessary to have the depth of market open. You don't have to, not all the time. But yeah, if you know how to read them, it does help a little bit. But liquidity generally, right? You see on Friday's liquidity was absolutely beautiful. Let's take a look at Friday's liquidity. Right here, right? I talked about the liquidity here. This was what time on Friday? 10:43. Now, let's take a look. 10:43. Where was 10:43? Now, this was on Friday. 10:43 was here. I talked to you about the liquidity. I told you, pay close attention to the liquidity. And I told you, right? Let's see what I exactly wrote here. Yeah, I told you, you have the ability and skill to actually identify liquidity now. And take a look. Penny perfect. Can you see how to identify liquidity? Because you can with the algorithms. Take a look how it started channeling itself, literally the word channel, channeling itself within the pink algorithms here. And grabbing the liquidity of that pink algorithm with the 5-day moving average, where the liquidity was built prior. So understanding how to be identifying liquidity, a big part of it is understanding structure, because you notice what structure was this. This is an inverse head and shoulder structure. Together with the algorithms, you identify the structure, you can see the liquidity. There is more nuances to this. For example, if it breaks out of liquidity early, usually it retraces. So I talk about that in the training videos, which I will continually do so as the market. This is why there's training videos. I will talk to you about them every single day whenever there's a chance to. Right. So that's the concept of liquidity there. Right. Yeah, you have access to the course. Don't worry. Well, if you really need to know, I just have 2 screens for trading. 2 for trading. 1 for general browsing. So total 3. So just 2 for trading. That's all. Yep. I will talk to you about this in the course. Yeah. But generally speaking, dollar cost averaging, well, that's this very common saying. It's a little cliche now, but time in the market is better than timing the market. So it's age old, but it has its disclaimers. I want to talk about the disclaimers in the course. So be very careful with slogans like that, because they don't tell the full story, and I want to explain them, because at the end of the day, you have to explain things with principles, with fundamentals, with values, right? Yeah, exactly. Ha. Yeah, that's a good one. All right, I'll give it to you, man. Yeah, I will do so. In the course, I will do so, because as I mentioned, you need a calculator for this. Once you start writing options, there's no signals, right? If you choose to believe there are still signals when we're doing swing trading or writing options, yeah, you're wrong. It's always about calculating your risks. So there are calculators you need to depend on, right? So example like this, you need a calculator. You need to know what you're properly hedging. You need to know how much money you've made from a certain hedge in order to counter hedge. So it's not so simple as just buy puts at 680 at this price for 90 days. You notice, it's not that simple. There is an entire formula behind it, and there's a calculator that you need to use. I will talk to you about that next time. Yeah, I know some of you got my back, and I have yours too, yeah? Never, if you can help it. Okay, this answer is never, if you can help it. Never. As I told you, trading shouldn't take up 8 hours of your day. It shouldn't. Right? It should take 6 minutes of your day. The rest of the time you set alerts. So go do something constructive. We are made to work. Work is what is important to us. It's what gives us purpose. It's what gives us meaning in life. So continually work. Yeah. It's not for the money. You don't have to work for the money. Right? You can find a better job that doesn't demand too much of your time. So the more important thing is stop selling your time. So maybe I rephrase your question. Stop selling your time, right? Instead, you buy back your time. If your how should I put it? If the coupon rate of your bond can pay for your expenses, you're good to go. All right? Yeah, I got your back, man. Don't worry. That's why it's important you reply to my email then, because then I had a record that you Everything is recorded. I have 3, but 2 are adopted. Yeah, I always do. I always share my trade, yeah? Yeah, tomorrow you'll start, don't worry. It will be available on VOD. You can view it if you're not in time to catch the live stream. Yeah, for sure. I will be guiding you, right? I know. It's going to be part of the journey. Don't worry, man. You know this one. Everyone knows the answer to this. It's peanut butter and jelly. Yep, I will. I will. Yes, good suggestion. Yeah, I was thinking of this. Maybe. Yes, I was thinking of this. Yeah, you read my mind. Maybe. It's close for now, but maybe I have to assess. I don't want to open up the lifetime membership so easily. Yeah, that's right. Gaming companies are now for profit. It used to be for passion. The game developers used to develop games because they were passionate about games. But nowadays, all the games they're non-educational. I don't think you can have an educational game now because they're all run for profit. It's all about making money now. It's so sad, right? Because the new generation, they are all experiencing this culture and this values driven for profit. And that's why we need to do something to change it if we can. Yeah. Yes, I always protect it early because I want all my trades to be as green as possible. A red trade affects my mind. It does, even though I try not to. Right, so you notice once I have a red trade, I either buckle up and get serious, or I stop trading for the day. Right, you notice that. Okay. Credit spreads. The point of trading something on credit spreads, or you're trying to write options, you're basically trying to make money with leverage. Okay, I will talk about this. So if you have a small account, it's possible only if you have leverage, if you're allowed to run a margin account. Right, so margin is a dangerous word if you do not know how to manage it. But leverage or margin is the way to wealth. I've explained this in the last live stream, and I will explain it again properly in the course. But you need to know, if you want to make it really wealthy, really rich, you need to make use of leverage. You need to learn to manage leverage and use it. Be the master of leverage, not the slave of it. I talked about this in the previous live stream, yeah? So you can check it out if you want to. Yeah, well done, man. Well done. Do what you need to survive. Yeah, that's what we do. But just don't be reckless. If you're learning how to trade, yeah, you think big, you know that you are applying your trade now with the elite. That's what you need to know. And that means that it demands a lot more from you. You have to perform like an elite. Are you performing like an elite, some of you? Are you living your life with that sort of discipline as an elite does? Do you know what LeBron James do every day? It's the same thing, right? You have to conduct yourself like an elite. If you're participating in an activity that's meant for elites, and the returns are elite, you see what you're signing up for? Some of you don't even know what you're signing up for. You come to the stock market just because someone else talked about it. You come to the stock market because you think it's good, but you have no idea how to document what is good, or what is lucrative. Or you're trying to find a way out, but you have no idea what it means, what it entails. I will talk about all these in the course, yeah? Yeah, I want to have at least 2 hours every week. So 2 hours every week. That's just a theory. And I want to have at least 30 minutes every day for the charts. So that works out to be about 4 to 5 hours a week. It's quite demanding. Let me start first with something. We build along that. But my goal is this, right? This is my goal. But let's start something first. I'll work along that, yeah? So in the meantime, give me feedback. It's something I'm doing for you. So obviously your feedback matters, yeah? Okay, I'm going to put a stop to this. And yeah, this is important because the course will teach you to draw your algorithms. You will understand more in due time, but yes. The short answer is yes. But it's not what you think it is. It's not, connect this dot and this dot. It's not like that, yeah? It's a lot more complex than that. But yes, the answer is yes. Okay. Looks like we got most things covered and we are 2 hours in. All right. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Did I miss anything? Just maybe a final 5 minutes. Just let me catch up with the chat so I know I didn't miss anything at all. And well, thank you for tuning in. Truly, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your time. Today was a lot more housekeeping and just questions and answer because we're running the course tomorrow, so I am not too fixated on the technicals, apart from the prep, which I talked about. And I was quite excited to share this, some development of what we have here, right? So far, so good. The market's closed, but I can buy and sell. It works. It technically works, but obviously I don't have live data now. So you see, I don't know how this is even moving. Right, so all these are just, it's not real, yeah? This is not real. Not yet, because it's not connected to a live server. But you see, on a technical level, it's working. Right, so I can close the trade, everything, all these statistics will be in. Right, so you can see the trading statistics in there too, a journal. Right, if I open up the trading statistics, are all there. Right, so there you have it. You have all your statistics here. That's pretty good. I kind of like where this is going. So this was also the big news I want to share with the lifetime members, and also to remind you of your purpose, of your objective for the new year. Yes, you have to prosper. I'm going to hold you to very high standards. And for some of you who are intending to slack, stop wasting money. You signed up to be part of this. You've got to whip yourself into shape. As I told you, giving money is the easiest part. And some of you, maybe you signed up for a gym membership too, and you thought your job's done, right? You've checked that list of your mind mentally. And that's not right, because the hard work starts beyond that, right? It's more than just giving money. So stop signing up for things that you don't follow through in. So, I mean, this is important, right? Because as much as we are not the slaves of money, but the most important thing to not be a slave of money is to have that earning ability. If you can make money, you have that skill to make money, you will never be, you'll be less likely to be a slave of money, right? I think one big part of slavery starts with the lack of skill, with the lack of education. When you have no ability to control yourself, no self-control, because you lack the knowledge or education, and you lack a lot of basic facilities in your life to make good decisions for yourself. So I want to help you with that, right, as much as I can, because I've been through that. I've seen children gone through that as well. And so the least we could do to empower the children was to provide them safety, security, and most importantly, education and skill. When you can give that to them, they will find their way. Children find their way. They will make good, because firstly, they will want to make people who believe in them proud. And that's what most of them do. If you provide them a safe place, you give them the skill and the knowledge, they will make you proud. They want to make you proud. And they want to prove it to themselves as well. Right? So we equip them with the bare minimum. I feel this is the bare minimum. Likewise here. Every day we check in. You do your best. The market's open every day. You have your opportunity to practice every day. And you hone your skill. You get better. Not just in trading, right? It's not just your technical levels, but also your self-control, and obviously all the baggages that you may have that's translated onto the trading floor. It's peculiar, isn't it, that you realize your generational baggages overflows on the trading floor for some reason. And yeah, it's sort of a therapy you have to go through to discover yourself better, because the market does bring out that instinctive, that the carnal instincts from deep inside us that we don't even know exists. It's interesting, but that's trading in a nutshell, because you're putting things on the line that matters. When you're putting things on the line that matters, your survival instincts, it comes out. Your deepest desires, it comes out. Unbeknownst to you, because you have not dealt with them in your life. One way or another, you're either unaware of them, or you're too busy with life that you neglect them, that you ignore them. Right? We neglect things, including yourself. You neglect yourself sometimes. How many of you spend time in the morning caring for yourself first, praying for yourself, ensuring that you're in good shape before you start the day, right? And the truth is, you don't. You neglect yourself most times. Don't neglect yourself. So when you come to the trading floor, you're providing yourself an opportunity to not neglect yourself, and to discover yourself a little bit more and fix yourself a little bit more. And you will get better. You truly will get better. Well, just catching up on some of the chats, so I'm sure that I don't miss anything out. Yeah, tomorrow, 12 noon again, we will start our course. I will send the link, so don't worry. It will be just an introduction, so don't expect too much. Not too in-depth yet, but it will provide the framework, what to prepare for, what to expect, and hopefully it provides you some guidance on what to know, where to go from here. All right, I think I caught up with most of the messages. Thank you for catching up with me today as well. Keep it coming. I will just leave these 2 threads, one for the lifers here and one for the members till the end of today, and I will lock the Q&A and open them up again tomorrow for class. Thank you once again. I'm really grateful to spend time with you. I'm really grateful, and thank you for taking the time off on a Sunday. And yeah, to God be all glory. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.